one of the challenges, so my vision when I came in, I've been working for Warwickshire West Mercia for about 3 years, and I needed to change the perception of policing. It sounds a bit straightforward, but transforming police recruiting to deliver more with less. So I need to change perception of policing, for starters, of the public, and also the staff that we already have and in the organisation, and then be able to do that with less money. So the first thing we did was the applicant tracking system. So when I started with the force, all the recruitment was done on a paper base. So there was loads of paper. Managers used to have piles of paper all the time, and it just forms used to get lost and everything else. And you can imagine the administration work, and especially the MI reports. So we used to take probably about a week just to get the MI reports for senior managers. So we installed the ATS system to basically give the candidates the candidate experience that they deserve and represents the brand of Warwickshire West Mercia Police. And just to streamline it, because the whole process used to take about 8 to 9 months. It sounds a lot, but for policing terms, that's normal for every force nationally. And we wanted to go paperless, pure 100% paperless in recruitment. And we wanted to build our talent bank. So we wanted all the candidates, all these names and numbers of people who are fans of policing, as I say. Where do you put them? So we had to put it onto a database, especially with the GDPR, which had just come in. So we had to get that sorted out. And that's why we implemented the ATS system. So the results was an overall cost of recruiting, higher caliber applicants, reduction in time to interview, minimising administration. So my team used to spend, huge amount of time just going through doing different bits of the recruitment process. That's reduced, it's allowed them to do additional work. Better consistency of approaching hiring and accurate real-time reporting, which was critical, and that's what the business needed. When I'm saying the team themselves, when I first started, the team used to be administrators, so they've been in the business for about 20, 30 years. They've been doing the same job from the offset, and they didn't have the investments of learning recruiting, so being a specialist in recruitment. So when I started, I had to untrain what they were doing and then train them to be recruitment specialists. That included investing in those individuals, because I had an option of do I keep the staff around I have? Do I change it? Do I change the whole model or not? And I chose to invest in the staff because I didn't want to put pressure on other government organisations like Job Centre Plus or anything like that. So the team had to learn how to be recruiters. That involved all of the techniques that recruitment agencies use, softwares, and literally learn how to be a recruitment specialist. So that was a long journey. So as of right now, they're physically doing that job. And I've still got the same staff and they're still there. So that recruitment process used to be 8 to 9 months, and at the moment it's maximum 3 months. And we've reduced it further to, it takes a couple of weeks now. A couple of weeks to 3 months is the longest recruitment time frame that we have. And we've also built a talent pool of candidates. And we've been working on it for about 3 years, and we've developed that really strongly, where we're filling probably about, at the moment, probably about 97% of all vacancies are sourced by my team. So that's where we've got direct sourcing model, and that direct sourcing model was to literally turn that 68% of agencies filling that vacancy, to turn it around and utilise the staff already have to be more productive, be more efficient, and save money and do more with less. So the direct sourcing model is an 80-20 model, which I've set. So I set a target of 80% and 20%. The 80%, actually, first of all, direct sourcing is exactly what it says on the tin. You end up sourcing candidates yourself as an organisation in-house, so you don't end up trying to use agencies or anything. You try to do as much as you can in-house. So we've got 80% is the business as usual, sort of role, from administrators up to sort of middle management that you can do yourself. And the 20% is the specialist roles, like heads of departments, ICT, legal, those probably 100k salary roles, for example. And we attempted that, and we tried to do 80%, but we actually filled 97%. So last year was 95, this year it's 96%. And only 20 vacancies went to agency, which is about 4%. So that's a huge change on direct sourcing. So we've saved a huge amount of money. In a sense of costs, originally it was about 3 million spent and increasing. We dropped that down to 1 million, and right now it's about 600,000, and it's dropping. And we're filling more technical roles, we're filling six-figure salary roles, we've just done an IT campaign, which I'll show you later, and we've sourced all those candidates directly. We had CL1 as a framework that we used to use, and that framework never used to work for what we're trying to use it for. So it's basically a framework to be able to source, work with agencies to be able to fill our vacancies. And we just didn't have the terms and conditions. It wasn't favourable to policing. It wasn't, the charge rates were just too high. The expectations were everything from them, nothing from us. And I just didn't have control in what we wanted, because policing is a whole different kettle of fish, and we needed to make sure we have the right, they understand the business, and the sort of, when we're trying to find ex-police officers, it's very hard to find those individuals which they can't source. So we created a dynamic purchasing system, which is a variation of the matrix or CL1 that we used to use. And we just decided to create our own. So it's the first one nationally that we've created a variation of this. And we've reduced the rates down to 10 to 15%. So anyone can do that. I mean, we've created it, we've utilised it, we've basically brought all recruitment needs for the organisation under one umbrella, and which has definitely saved a lot of money and time for the business. Another tool was executive search. So it's basically headhunting. So going out, trying to find those passive candidates who haven't got the CV on the job boards, who might not be looking for work, but if you approach them, if they see the right role, they might be interested. So we use various job boards, so we kind of focus on the passive candidates, because the candidates who are actively looking, we're going to find them, they're going to see our vacancies, we don't need to worry about them. They're going to see us as soon as we put it on the job boards or any social media platforms. But the passive candidates are those niche individuals who we're trying to find that needle in a haystack, and how do you get to them. So we do. That's where once you get those details, we can do mail shots, we can interact with them, we can build relationships, we can ask them to join the talent bank, which we can then network continuously throughout the whole year. We did do a satisfaction survey after that, and because originally we had line managers, candidates, probably about 60% used to turn around and say, don't like the recruitment process, don't feel part of the organisation, it was bitty, it was too long, they just didn't like it, they just didn't feel part of the organisation. So we've done, with all the activity of contacting the individual, building relationships, building the talent bank, using the ATS system, creating a new onboarding program as well, all of that, we've done a survey, and candidates said that they would recommend us, 90% said they would recommend us to other people to come and join as an employer choice. And we also don't want to line managers, because when we kind of done implemented technology or changing the way we used to work, because they've always done this, there was reluctancy in changing. And originally, basically everyone in the organisation did turn around and say, we don't want to use it, we want to use spreadsheets, we want to use paper, we've always done it, it's quicker. And then at the end of the implementation, after the training and showing them how it works, 74% recommended the service to colleagues. So that's other hiring managers and leaders throughout the business. So they're supporters now, where originally, as you can imagine, when you're trying to take them through that journey, it's a bit difficult. But at the end, 74, and I'm still working on the other half.
Yeah.
At the moment, we've just launched, with College of Policing, a online virtual reality job fair. Because the time cost it takes and resources to go and attend actual physical job fairs, and the amount of job fairs we have all over the Midlands, or it's time consuming. It's a lot of cost even to attend a job fair, and that can vary on the price. So we all decided to do a virtual job fair, and at the moment it's having a huge success. Loads of people, thousands of people, just logging in. They're finding about the organisation, you're learning about the brand, you're understanding about, and the objective is to change the perception of policing, which we're trying to do, and getting more people to understand what policing is, and that you can have a career behind that brand. So you could be in the police force and you could do maintenance, you could do HR, finance, you could be a police officer, and it's not just about being a police officer in uniform. There's about 100 people behind one police officer to make sure that one police officer is doing their job. So next time you see a police officer, remember there's about 100 people behind them making sure they're protecting and serving the public. And that's what we're trying to do with less money. And it wasn't really that expensive either, to be honest. So we've done that with College of Policing, we've governed policing nationally, which has been great. And in Warwickshire, West Mercia, we're doing virtual reality for assessment centres, trying to create virtual reality for firearms as well, and trying to utilise that and do a pilot on that at the moment, so we can train firearms officers on doing drills and just using that in training a bit more, which will reduce the cost, not just for recruitment, but learning development as well. Because we haven't got, as you know, they've been cut on budget as well. And how do we help them? So the virtual reality has been kind of accepted by a lot of the staff, and they've